Deontay Wilder has hinted that his highly anticipated heavyweight battle with Zhilei Zhang could be his last. Joseph Parker defeated heavyweight Wilder in December. Wilder said he is treating the fight as his last dance. Wilder told the news conference,
I'm a natural-born leader. I wouldn't expect to have no other position but then being the captain, and I'm gonna lead by example. That's it. For me, what makes him a unique...
I'm looking forward to the fight. I respect Zhang, and he's a good fighter, but it's my time. I have been through a lot. I had to regroup and get my stuff together. Things don't just change overnight. You gotta keep working. Deontay Wilder further added, I'm just ready to do what I'm known to do. Be the Wilder I am. I lost my passion and love for this business. I lost my hunger for so many different reasons. Both Wilder and Zhang will be desperate for wins after their defeats to Parker as they seek to stay relevant in the division. Deontay Wilder might not have much going for him in the upcoming fight, but he has the power on his side.
And he feels that that's going to be the key for him tonight as he fights a younger opponent. Steve told you about that in the open of the show. He upset Lemon Brewster to win the WBA version of the heavy to Shannon Briggs. Blachowicz has been stopped at his last two fights.
Time after time, the Bronze Bomber has ended fights with one shot, and the possibility of that happening with Zhang is slim now. Wilder said he is treating the fight as all or nothing. However, Zhang's power should not be underestimated either. His track record speaks volumes about his punching prowess, securing back-to-back knockout victories over Joe Joyce and winning 6 out of his last 10 fights via knockout highlight Zhang's formidable punching ability. With an impressive 80.77% knockout ratio, Zhang has consistently demonstrated his capability to finish fights emphatically. This power factor adds another layer of complexity to the matchup and underscores Zhang's potential as a force to be reckoned with in the ring. Time will tell what happens when the two heavyweights meet in the ring on June 1st. In his latest episode of The Pain Game, True Geordie shed light on the enigmatic figure of Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang is one of the most mysterious and maybe underrated boxers in the heavyweight division. He's from China, so people don't obviously connect with him in the same way since English isn't his first language. Despite this language barrier, Zhang's performance in the ring speaks volumes about his skill and potential. True Geordie further added, you don't really see massive Chinese dudes dominating fights in the heavyweight division like this. He's unusual, and his size, while it's a gift in that, he's quite technical for a big guy and puts the power punches together beautifully, is also his curse because he is so goddamn big that he can't keep that energy output going throughout the fight. Geordie thinks Zhang's size presents both advantages and challenges, making him a unique figure in the heavyweight scene. He said, you will get chances against him, but with a 26-2 record, not many people have been able to capitalize on those chances because he hits hard. Despite opportunities that may arise in facing Zhang, his impressive record underscores his ability to deliver punishing blows. So, when you're fighting Deontay Wilder, he's used to being in there as the only guy to be as feared for the one-shot kill. Zhang isn't quite Deontay Wilder, nobody is, but bloody hell, he can whack. Comparing Zhang to the likes of Deontay Wilder, known for his devastating knockout power, emphasizes Zhang's own formidable punching ability. Geordie mentioned, I like Zhang, how he bullies you around the ring. And this is why how unusual it was what he did to Fury, because this is what big men do, right? They take the center, and they use their power to make you respect them. Zhang's coach, Sean George, must fine-tune the engine of a man who has contested 105 rounds since 2014. Bo, you guys in the whole boxing world are seeing what I've been seeing for 13-14 years. Zhang is a student of the game. Despite his 81% knockout ratio, Zhilei is now 40 years old. The 6'6" frame is creaking, even though his 80-inch reach still erupts in the form of devilishly fast hands. Sean George further mentioned, he's just starting. Remember George Foreman won a heavyweight title when he was 45 years old? Zhang is just starting. He's fresh. Deon's slow feet mixed with Zhang's sluggish demeanor could lead to the tentative standoff affair that nobody expects. Deontay Wilder's trainer, Malik Scott, honestly shared his reviews about Zhang. See, Zhang's work rate significantly dips after the halfway point. Wilder's waning enthusiasm is stark. Wilder stated in an interview, you know, I lost my love and the passion. I lost my hunger in this fight. We're going to tell. We're going to see that hunger, that monster, that beast. It's coming back. The opening rounds will be a knife-edge affair. If Wilder can feint and shimmy long enough to gas out his foe, he may exploit any late fight gaps, only if the weapons remain locked and loaded like before. In one of his former interviews, Deontay was extremely confident about his power, and the power was also real at that time. Once, he said, and all it takes is one shot from me. They have to be perfect for 12 rounds. Don't have to be perfect for 2 seconds, because of the power. While the whoever lands first wins mantra is an oversimplification, with two of the biggest punchers in the division, Riyadh must prepare for an out-of-the-blue finish. That's what Wilder said in his late press conference. "I'm just ready to do what I'm known to do, you understand? To be the Wilder that I am to this day." With both at an advanced age, chances eventually run out, and retirement looms. Struggling to release the shots of old, Wilder has already tasted world title glory and must rediscover the vigor of a hungry challenger. Having been so close to the top, Zhang's shoulders groan under the weight of an expectant nation returning to the crime scene to right their wrongs. Matchmakers who thirst for violence and a wicked sense of destruction have picked two desperate destroyers in a loser leaves town scenario, a deadly duo armed with nuclear weapons.
Not make them wait! Let's do the bomb squad right now, bring it!
The southpaw Zhang will be dangerous for Wilder early on, looking to connect with one of his left hands to take advantage of his weak chin. "Someone is getting knocked out in that fight. It's not going the distance. I'm just edging for Zhang," said Carl Frampton to Boxing News, picking Zhilei Zhang to defeat Deontay Wilder on June 1st. Big Bang Zhang to do the business. He's got to do the business, both of them. They're at a crossroads. That's what's so good about that fight, said promoter Frank Warren. They both know they've got to win. They both got to bring their best. A loss for either of the fighters could be the end of them. Zhang, 40, and Wilder, 38, are too old to come back from consecutive defeats. Wilder's situation is more dire because it would be his fourth defeat in his last 5 fights. That's too many defeats in a short period for him to return. They've got to bring their A game, nothing less than that, because whoever loses, he's dropped right down that pecking order, said Warren. What goes down is maybe we even come from behind to win the tournament, because that's my captain's pick, said promoter Eddie Hearn about Deontay Wilder being his Matchroom boxing team captain. That's my double bubble. Hearn has got to be at least a bit doubtful about whether Wilder can get the job done, because if he had 100% belief, he'd be talking about wanting to sign him to his Matchroom stable and match him up against Anthony Joshua. He doesn't say anything about signing Wilder or matching him against AJ. That suggests that he has doubts about whether he's going to defeat Zhang. If he knocks him out, we get 4 points, and that could win the whole thing. It's a great fight, and it could go either way. I back Deontay Wilder to win that fight by knockout, said Hearn. Both guys have the potential to knock each other out. Zhang is dangerous in the first half of the fight, said Joseph Parker about the Wilder versus Zhang fight. I feel that from that fight, Zhang now was working on his conditioning, and Wilder, it'll be important for him to utilize his footwork and place Zhang wherever he wants to land his big shots. Wilder has talked about wanting to fight aggressively against Zhang, but once he gets in the ring with him and feels his power, he'll fight scared like he did in his loss to Parker and hope he can catch him with a shot at some point. Parker said, I would have to go with Wilder. I feel like Wilder. After that loss, both guys have stepped up their training, focus, and motivation. I feel like Zhang, as his activity lessens as the fight goes on, he'll be a sitting target. Seeing Wilder look like a shell of his former self was surprising. Now, he has to sit back and weigh his options. Whatever he decides to do, Zhang believes that the days of Wilder sitting on top of the heavyweight throne are essentially over with. As a boxer, I can tell you it's easy to fall. It's harder to rise up, Zhang said in an interview. Deontay Wilder has been to the top. Right now, I would say he's at the lower part of his career. It's really hard to get back. Wilder isn't the youngest fighter around. He's nearly 40 years old and hasn't been active recently. Zhang sees the inactivity as a killer, but Wilder's bigger issue is the monotonous way he goes about his business. For the 38-year-old, it's always been about the right hand. Up until this point, it hasn't failed him. But with some of his last few opponents able to withstand it or avoid it entirely, it's about time Wilder switched things up. While talking about Wilder, Zhang added, he kind of fights the same way. He kind of depends on his right hand. Of course, he's still a dangerous fighter, and if that right hand lands on anybody, it's going to cause problems. Rest first, make adjustments, then come back stronger. Jarrell Miller is a fellow heavyweight boxer. He shares insights into Zhang's training and fighting style based on their sparring sessions in New York. Zhang is going to knock him out. Zhang trains in New York. I sparred with him. Miller's confident assertion sets the tone for his belief in Zhang's knockout power, drawing from his personal experience of training alongside him. Miller describes Zhang's aggressive style. He's a big, durable guy. He's mean. He throws leather at everybody he fought so far. He either dropped or hurt them. He further added, and we know Deontay Wilder's super chinny, so if he lands on him, he's going to get him out of there. Miller contrasts Zhang's power with Deontay Wilder's perceived vulnerability, suggesting that Zhang has the potential to exploit Wilder's weaknesses and secure a knockout victory if he lands his punches effectively. With several insiders like Gerald Miller voicing their predictions, anticipation is mounting for Zhilei Zhang's upcoming bout. Miller stated that Zhang possesses the power and durability to secure a knockout victory. Coupled with Deontay Wilder's perceived susceptibility to powerful punches, the stage is set for an electrifying showdown. Zhang, keenly aware of his past boxing missteps, is diligently striving to glean valuable lessons from them as he works towards redemption and improvement in the ring. Speaking exclusively to CGTN Europe after his fight against Parker, Zhilei admitted that he became too confident during the fight. Recounting his bout with Joe Joyce, Zhang contrasts the determination he felt in their initial encounter with the complacency that crept in during their rematch. "I probably didn't have the same mentality as when I fought Joe Joyce, because when I fought Joyce, I told myself I was going to take the belt from him, and then in the second fight, it was me guarding the belt. The desire to defeat him was very strong," he reflects. However, after emerging victorious against Joyce, Zhang admits to succumbing to overconfidence, which manifested as a lack of intensity in his subsequent match against Joseph Parker. Zhang said, "After defeating Joyce, I became overconfident, which made me a bit too relaxed when fighting Joseph Parker." Zhang provides insight into the tactical maneuvers employed by his opponents, particularly in adapting their strategies to counter his strengths. "In fact, in the first half of the fight, I had the upper hand, totally. Towards the end, he changed his tactics. He tried to control the distance so I couldn't hit him. I started to feel anxious," he recalls. Post-match introspection leads Zhang to identify areas where he fell short in executing his game plan, emphasizing the need for continual growth and adaptation in his approach to boxing. "After the fight, I thought about it. I did have a lot of training for that, including what to do when he held me. But somehow, I didn't get my head around it in the second half of the game. I failed to draw on some of the strategies," he concludes. Speaking exclusively to CGTN Europe about the fight, Zhilei's co-manager Terry Lane said, "This is a crossroads fight for both sides. It's do or die for both sides. There is just no higher drama in boxing than the type of fight we're going into on June 1st. Lane added, "It's two top heavyweights. Both can punch. I don't see it going the distance, but the drama is compelling." In the high-stakes world of heavyweight boxing, the stage is set for a showdown of epic proportions between Zhilei Zhang and Deontay Wilder. With Wilder hinting that this could be his final bout, the pressure is on for both fighters to secure a victory and maintain relevance in the division. As the countdown to June 1st begins, speculation runs rampant among pundits and insiders alike. Gerald Miller's bold prediction of Zhang securing a knockout victory adds fuel to the already intense anticipation surrounding the matchup. But amidst the hype, Zhang remains grounded, drawing from past experiences to refine his strategy and approach. With both fighters recognizing the magnitude of the moment, the stage is set for a clash that promises to be nothing short of spectacular. As the tension mounts and the countdown to their clash draws near, one question looms large. Could Zhilei Zhang indeed spell the end of Deontay Wilder's illustrious career? Don't miss a moment of the action and analysis leading up to this monumental showdown by subscribing to our channel. Hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications to stay updated on all the much-awaited latest fights in the boxing world.